This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
He was a Giant, and he was a Cowboy. Now these two former rivals have joined forces to bring you the most insightful, perceptive, and controversial sports talk podcast in America. Former Dallas Cowboys defensive end Jim Jeffcoat locks horns with former New York Giants wide receiver Byron Williams. And now, here's Byron Williams and Jim Jeffcoat.
Good evening, Byron.
Football's in the air, Jim. Look.
Yes, it is.
The training camp, all 32 teams have reported.
Yes. And you know what? I'm very happy about a situation that happened this week. Or actually on Monday. The New York Giants signed Saquon Barkley. Now, you won't have any reason to say, well, when y'all lose, you won't say, well, we didn't have Saquon. He wasn't in camp. He is here.
Well, I knew they were going to sign him, and I knew that it was going to happen before the first game. And, you know, they gave him $2 million, and then I think his contract is going to be worth $11 million. So he signed a one-year deal.
All incentives. He has to reach incentives to get there. And it's only $500,000 more than he would have got for the franchise tag.
Hey, it's on a one-year deal. He's gonna get paid out this year because you know what? He's gonna be the number one running back.
He does not. They can franchise him again.
Yeah, they can, but they gonna pay him.
Okay.
They got to pay him.
Okay.
But I think that's the right decision for him and his family. I think now he can just set everything aside, focus on football, and play the game. He's the best running back in the National Football League.
Oh, now he's the best running back in the National Football League.
He's one of the best. He's in the top 5.
Okay.
But I'm excited for the Giants. Now I have a better opportunity. They also signed Andrew Thomas as well. Yeah. So I think now we got a secure group of people with that can go in and focus on playing the game of football.
And they signed Dexter Lawrence.
Dexter Lawrence is signed, yes.
Yeah. And the Cowboys had a signing.
Yeah, they had a big signing yesterday.
Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah.
$97 million. And he's guaranteed at least $40 million.
Yeah. You know, he deserved it. 17 interceptions. He had 10 his first year. So, you know, he deserved it.
He is not one of the top 3. He's not rated as one of the top 3 cornerbacks in the NFL.
I think I would rate him in the top 5, not the top 3, but definitely the top 5.
But he was signed. Probably the next one is CeeDee Lamb will get signed.
Yeah.
But Zach Martin did not show up to camp.
He didn't show up. Yeah.
He did not show up. Nick Bosa didn't show up to camp.
Yep.
And the Seattle Seahawks #1 pick cornerback Witherspoon did not show up to camp. Right. And obviously, we already know Josh Jacobs is not going to show. And there is rumors, only rumors, I don't want to start stuff, but that they might take the franchise tag off of Josh Jacobs, which is crazy.
And do what with it?
They said that Josh McDaniels likes having running backs by committee. He doesn't want one back. And Josh Jacobs.
Well, that's why Josh McDaniel hadn't coached long for nobody. Besides the Patriots. I mean, you got Josh Jacob had a heck of a season last year, and he want to get paid.
Yeah, because he knows that this is his second contract, and he better make his money.
The second contract, and he's a running back, and now they are not treating running backs that fairly in the National Football League.
Yeah. Also, Chris Jones for the Kansas City Chiefs is not in camp.
Chris Jones,
and same with Zach Martin. They're getting fined $50,000 every day, and so is Nick Bosa because they're under contract.
Right,
every day. I mean,
50,000.
It's going to add up.
It's going to be a write-off for somebody, but you know,
I don't know how much a write-off you're going to get with that unless you get more money.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that bothered me, and Jerry Jones said it's about integrity. And I agree to a certain extent. But here's the problem. Zach Martin, when they needed money to sign other players, he renegotiated his contract.
Absolutely.
And now when he wants more money, they're saying, well, it's about integrity. You signed the deal. Well, wait a minute. He's 32 years old. He doesn't want to play too much longer. So he's trying to say, I better get my money now. And I can understand that. Absolutely.
He made a sacrifice for the team when he revamped his contract. Just like, and some players do that. And sometimes these owners, they have short memory.
Yeah. So that's unfortunate because he is arguably the best guard in the league.
Best guard, made the Pro Bowl almost every year he played.
Yeah.
And been one of the most consistent offensive linemen in the National Football League.
Exactly. So he should be rewarded for doing these things.
Yeah.
Because you never hear anything about him playing bad. He's very consistent, old school, tough guy in there,
And he's a leader in the locker room. He's a leader in the field, and and on and off the football field, and do community stuff. So you hear a lot of good things about him.
Yeah, and then they had obviously down in Dallas here, they had on the news they had Tony Pollard. He looks like he's moving well, and it's only the first practice, but
yeah, and I think we'll see at the game 1 or 2, 3 maybe, and see what the knee look like. But
yeah,
Tony,
it wasn't a knee; it was an ankle.
That's right, it's his ankle. Right.
It was Achilles, I think. It was straight, or it was his knee, something in his ankle.
That's right. The lower extremity. But for sure, they got Jones here in Dallas, so he's a hell of a runner.
Yeah, a lot of people I'm not excited about Ronald Jones yet.
You not?
No, because he didn't do anything in Kansas City last year.
Well, he didn't have to. Patrick Mahomes just drove the ball, distribute the ball where he wanted to, and he was just on the team and got the Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
But no, he really can play though. He got speed. He's very smart, intelligent player. So I'm thinking that there's gonna be some good things.
He won a state championship in the 100 meters.
He can run. He's fast.
Yeah, he's really
good. Yeah.
Speaking of that, John Ross, who was a number 9 pick in the draft, I want to say by the Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals, yes.
He just retired at 27 today. He just retired, John Ross.
Well, they was talking about trying to get him with the Giants 2 or 3 weeks ago. Because me and Matt was talking about that.
Yes, but yes, you were, and he retired today, and he broke the record as the fastest man to ever run a 40 in the
combine, in the NFL combine.
Yeah, the NFL combine.
Yeah, I think he ran a 4.2 something.
Yeah. So he was the fastest ever, and he just never panned out as a football player. That happens. Happens. There's a lot of guys that have the physical abilities, but they don't have the mental abilities.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's interesting that he retired at such a young age. And then our favorite guy, Aaron Rodgers, renegotiated his contract, and he $35 million. He took off that they have 35 extra million because of how he renegotiated his contract. Right.
I think he signed 75 million 2 years or something like that, and they renegotiated. But Aaron's gonna get the back end of his money. He's a smart businessman. He knows what he's doing. So I'm pretty sure that he probably making 50 million this year, somewhere up in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he redid his contract.
I think what they did, though, is he'll make more money off the field in the metropolitan area, the New Jersey, New York metropolitan area, because he's in such a big market.
Absolutely. He probably got all kinds of deals coming his way, just laying on the table, just seeing which deal he want to take. But also, he got to pay those healthy taxes in the state of New York.
That is true, too. That is true. He might need that 35 million to pay those taxes.
You got to pay those taxes. It's a whole different tax bracket when you go from New York to
New
Wisconsin.
Jersey, yeah. Well, he gets New Jersey. He doesn't get New York because they're based out of New Jersey and they play in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to play New York taxes. That basketball and the Bills obviously do, but that's the only team that's truly in New York.
Yeah.
West New York, but the Giants and the Jets have their facilities in New Jersey, and they play in New Jersey at MetLife.
So let me ask you a question. How many games do you think the Jets will win this year?
I think they'll win 8.
8?
I think they'll be 8 and 9.
I think they'll win at least 10 to 11 games.
Wow. Here's the thing. They're in such a difficult division. And I'm starting to get stuff. I got friends in Miami that are calling me, talking junk already about what the Dolphins going to do.
Dolphins going to be tough.
They're going to be tough. They got 2 great corners, and their defense is good. Their offense, we already know about them. But they're talking about I got friends, obviously, with the Bills, who are still the odds-on favorite to win that division.
I think with the Dolphins, you still got the question mark on the quarterback because if he would be able to stay healthy, and will he be effective with the concussion stuff as well? So I'm thinking that it's all about being healthy. I think.
Yeah,
and that's for the AFCs.
Yeah, which is I don't know how they get acclimated to playing, honestly, because I'm seeing things that didn't happen. And you do get injuries. But the first day of practice, you're having guys get hurt with non-contact. I mean, how much contact are you going to do without pads?
So that tells you that they're not in top shape. That tells you that.
Or is it just that their bodies are not used to this kind of low workload? It's not that I think they're in shape because the way they train now, they train intense, but I think their workload, they don't get football shape. It's a difference. They're they're sprinters, they do all these things, but they don't do the change the directions and things of that nature. And
it's a different type of training now. I think some of these guys are going with this modern day training, but I'm telling you, nothing like old school training where you got we lifted weights and then we go out and run. We run, then go lift weights.
But if you remember, it was 1 or 2 days, and we were in pads. They're not like that anymore, and they don't have 2 days anymore. 2 days are things of the past. How do you get your body ready?
We call it butt up. We had to butt up sometime. And
then they always Then you're right.
But we had hard bodies. I'm just to be honest with you. I had a hard body. I don't know. I would bench 360 pounds. I had hard bodies, so I could take them licks. And then what I like about it back then, them cornerbacks don't come up there and grab you. They hit you in the throat.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, because they could do that then. Now you can't really touch receivers.
Can't touch them.
This is going to be interesting to see how they're, and
football is football. It's a physical game.
Yeah, and it's getting more wide open. And
you saying John Ross, maybe John Ross liked it when he was in shorts, but once you put them pads on.
Oh yeah. Like Mike Tyson always said, you don't know how tough you are until you get punched in the mouth and you taste that blood.
That blood, when you see that blood shooting out, So. But Darren Rodgers, man, I think by him restructuring his contract, I think he looking at maybe they're looking at a couple other players that need to sign, make sure that they are happy, and he's trying to do the right thing.
You're right, and a couple other things about quarterbacks. Justin Herbert got a $262,000.
0.5. 262 million points. Put that 0.5 on there.
0.5 million.
Making him the highest paid quarterback to date.
And he has not won a playoff game.
He have been the number one quarterback in his first 3 years, throwing over 4,000 yards a season. He, the proof is in the pudding. sometimes the quarterback can't win the whole game, but his production and what he have done on the football field.
How many playoff games has he won?
They went to the playoff last year.
I didn't ask you that. How many playoff games did he win?
They hadn't won one yet.
What is the difference between Justin Herbert and Tony Romo?
They hadn't won too many playoff games.
That's my point. That's my point. It's
but
about winning playoffs.
Great football players.
They're very good.
Sometimes, okay, so they got Kevin Moore, his offensive coordinator over there. Yeah. He liked to throw that ball. So I'm thinking we will see because it's gonna be, the head coach Staley is under fire. He got to produce. The offense got to produce.
Yes.
So now they got no more excuses.
That's true.
But last year they did have some injuries to the wide receivers. They did have injuries.
Yes, and they have actually. It's interesting. They have a tough schedule.
Yeah,
it's not an easy schedule.
They played September the 10th. They started the game off with the Dolphins. They played the Dolphins first game, September the 10th.
Yeah, so they have. It's not an easy road for them, and you're going to tell me that they're going to make that. And they did get to the playoffs, but like you said, they played Miami. The good thing about them is they played Miami and Chargers, but you don't have it really with LA. In LA, you don't have a home field advantage.
It's almost like a mutual field because you don't. They don't. You're absolutely right. It's just one of those games where the Dolphins gonna come in fired up. I tell you that.
Yeah, because everybody thinks they're gonna, be the team to beat. But then they go to Tennessee. They're at Tennessee. They're at Minnesota.
Tennessee signed DeAndre.
I know who they signed. And they say the young quarterback is getting better. That they drafted last year from Liberty.
Yeah.
That he's really improved.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't foresee the kid from Kentucky being the backup. I think the other quarterback will be the backup.
Well, Callahan, he's almost at his last leg. So
I would agree. But then, like I said, they went to Minnesota. They played Las Vegas, and they got a loss after that on October 16th. They played Dallas. So,
well, you think they got a loss? They might fire Dallas up. Might send them back. What they playing? They playing out there in California.
They're playing in they're playing at the AT&T Stadium.
Okay.
So that's going to be a good game there, and Kellen Moore would like nothing more than to beat the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, he gonna fire them up, and he gonna have the game plan for the Cowboys, and that's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be an interesting game.
Also on November 12th, make sure you keep your schedule open because the Cowboys.
I'm writing it down right now. I got a pen. I'm writing it down.
You're gonna be sitting up with me. I'll bring you a lot of tissues and everything. So I don't want you crying on me.
November the 12th. I just wrote it down. 2023.
Yeah, but before the show, me and the producer were talking, and I didn't realize that the Cowboys only beat the Giants by 7 points in the last two games last year. They won one 28 to 21, and then they won the other one 26 to, I think it was something like 26-18 or something like that.
And the game could have went either way. So whatever you're saying now is just it could have went either way. The Giants could have easily won, beat the Cowboys both games last year.
But they didn't.
But they made the playoff.
So did the Cowboys.
So I'm thinking that the Giants will finish ahead of the Cowboys this year.
They won't be. I gave you the rankings, and the Cowboys are on the way up. The Giants are like this still. Although the Giants have some really good defense.
We didn't. Well, I can tell you this: we have improved the roster. they have improved the roster.
Tight end Waller is a good one, but your receivers are still an issue.
It's all right. We'll be able to manage. We'll be able to manage.
That style offense that the ball runs, you need receivers. And they're really good on defense. I got to give the Giants. But they did lose a linebacker.
Yeah.
They lost a linebacker.
Well, we did get a linebacker from the Colts. That's good.
Yeah. And but like everybody else, it's going to be the team that stays the healthiest.
Absolutely. And that's the part that people got to think about. You know, it's all about being healthy and the timing of the players. But I do think the Giants had a good offseason program.
Yeah, I could agree.
And
they might be the third or fourth team in the NFC again, or in the East.
I'll tell you though, it's gonna be hard to beat the Eagles. I done looked at it. I done dissected up and down. They've been doing some things this offseason.
Well, here's the thing.
I've been keeping up with the offseason. Huh?
Yeah, and I agree. The Eagles are probably the odds-on favorite to win everything. But here's the problem you have is, first of all, they lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and they're all talking about how bad the grass was, how they should have won, and all these things, but they lost. You got to move on. So that's in the back of their mind. The next thing is they've had a lot of changes in their coaching staff, and that's going to be it. And people
that's number two. That's number two.
That's number two, and the biggest thing is how healthy can A.J. Brown stay? Because if A.J. Brown is not playing, they're not as good. I don't care how good their defense is. I don't care. A.J. Brown is what makes them go.
I tell you another thing. A.J. Brown, and I tell you another thing that might hurt him is Sanders, the running back. He's gone.
Although they got Rashad Penny.
I don't care about him, but Sanders was the best running back that they had.
Yeah, but Rashad Penny, and they got another. Oh, they got Dante Swift from Detroit.
Swift is there.
You have some good running backs. I got to give him credit there. But like you said, the big thing, or I said, is that they got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
And that's going to be hard because it's a difference. I'll never forget this. When we won that first Super Bowl, we were the hunters. We going out hunting. Let them know we here. This is our year. But that second Super Bowl, that was work because everybody, that is their title game. That's their championship game. And that's how they play. Everybody elevates their play.
And you know what else? It's hard for a team who reached the Super Bowl to have a good season. They hardly ever make the playoff.
Well, you saw Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Remember? They lost it. The Rams. Remember? And I'm just
Tampa Bay Bucks. Just think about the team.
Bay Bucks, yeah. And the last team to repeat back-to-back was the New England Patriots, and I think it was 2018 and 2019.
Yeah, something like that.
So,
but you know, and you said it earlier though. Kansas City gonna be hard to beat. I was just joking about Kansas City, but
I know
Kansas City tough, and that they tough.
As long as Mahomes is there, they'll always be contending. And what have they been in the last 5 championship games?
Yeah, they've been 8.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know too many teams that have done that.
And not this modern day era, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you got to give Andy Reid credit. And they had I was looking at an article, and how many of these head coaches, had coached under Andy Reid? Doug Peterson, the coach at Buffalo, McDermott, coach at Tampa Bay. I mean, it was a crazy amount that were under him.
Right.
So that showed you that he helped those coaches get to another level. And he's still one of the best coaches in the NFL. Yeah,
absolutely.
He made a tremendous sacrifice to do that because he's had an issue with his children.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate, but I mean,
he did have his son get in a tight situation, and
And also, here was a story. I don't know if you heard of Naheem Hines, the running back for that was traded from Indianapolis to Buffalo last year. He was sitting on a jet ski, and somebody ran the jet ski into his leg, and he's done for the year. But it's a non-football injury, so they don't have to pay him his salary or anything. His agent is complaining, saying, "Well, why are they doing this?" But if you look
That's the NFL contract.
Yeah, so he is they're mad because he gets nothing. All he was doing was, but you got to be smart too.
But one of the things that with NFL is that with these contracts, it's sometimes like when you in a high risk situation environment, that was a high risk environment. That really notifies your contract. And then another thing is like if you ride a motorcycle, they don't they if you get hurt on a motorcycle, that's another reason.
You're right though. You're right. But yeah, they're going to have an issue with this, and there's not really too much he can do. That's a lot of money. It's like $2.6 million.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but I mean, that's the business side coming out. They're going to say, well, they paid DeMar Hamlin, but that was totally different. He
got hurt in the field. He got hurt in the football field.
Yeah.
During the game.
And the segue onto that is Bronny James, as we all know.
Yeah.
He had a cardiac arrest. And this is in the last 2 years. This is the second player
for USC
that's had cardiac arrest. They got to look at their training. Because the other player came back and he's playing now. And Bronny James, I wonder how they're training these kids.
Yeah. It's one of those things because he only wanted to play one year of college, I think. Exactly. That's what I heard. But man,
don't you think that's two people in the last 2 years?
It might have to do something with that training. Something. Maybe I don't know.
And here's some. Did you know that Shaquille O'Neal's son, Sharif, had heart surgery and he's playing now? But
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Shaquille O'Neal's son. But I'm hoping that it was something that was just one of those things.
Yeah,
because they did. Fortunately, they had people there, and they got him to the hospital, and he's in stable condition. It might take him a little while to get back, but he might have to, like you said, he wanted to come out this year. He might have to wait.
Yeah,
he might have to wait and come out after this year. Maybe stay in college 2 years because they say it takes about 6 months for you to fully recover.
Absolutely, it take a while. They want to make sure.
But
one of the most improved surgery that you have now is the heart surgery.
Yeah,
I got a friend. He had a heart replacement. This is his 3rd year, and he's doing great. So a brand new heart.
But it's what age you are too.
He's in his 60s.
Yeah, because my dad had surgery and when he was in his 70s, and as he had triple bypass.
Mm-hmm.
He deteriorated from the time he had that to the time he passed, and he lived for another. He had it at 72, and he lived till he was 86, but he kept deteriorating each year because they say less oxygen goes to the brain.
Okay. Wow.
That's something that you got to do. They probably can, like you said, they can find out what caused the issue with Bronny James, and he should be fine.
Yeah.
But tell them the truth. They say you can't play anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's sometimes you just have to hang the cleats up or the basketball shoes up. It's just one of those things to where, the body just can't take no more.
Yeah, and you might have grew too fast because sometimes that stuff happens when you grow too fast. I mean, it's harder because I grew fast. When I went in the 8th grade, I was like 5'6", 125 pounds. When I got to the 9th grade, I was 6'1" and weighed 150 pounds.
Wow.
I mean, you grow that fast.
Yeah.
Sometimes your heart doesn't keep up with you. I hate to say that.
I know one year I was training so hard. First time they started saying they heard a regular heartbeat on me because I was in superb shape.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can overtrain.
You can, because I had it. We trained in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
When we went to camp, we went up into the mountains, and then obviously there's altitude, and it caused me to have an irregular heartbeat when I was young. I mean, I was still only a sophomore.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the technology they had today.
Yeah, and they call it heart mama, or something like that.
Yeah.
It was something, a regular heartbeat, blah blah blah. But yeah.
Yeah. So there's speaking of basketball, Jaylen Brown got $304 million maxed out contract. Did you hear what I said?
304 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they said that there's a guy, I keep forgetting his name, he is going to be the next guy. He's going to get $400 million max contract.
Wow. Who is that going on? I wonder who that is.
It's somebody with a unusual name, and they said he's the next big one, and he's going to get the next one, and see if I can find him.
Wow.
But yeah,
that's phenomenal, man. You know, to get paid like that.
Yeah.
That is a generation of.
Oh yeah, that changes your whole family.
Your whole family be like, Gene.
Yeah.
That is. Well, it's modern day pay.
I guess so.
They need to come back and recoup some of these old players and just say, hey, we want to give y'all.
Yeah. You guys got us to this point.
Yeah. For helping blaze the grass and making the trails and planting the seeds.
Yeah, you're right. But let me ask you this question. Because of these things that are happening and the money that's going into professional sports, football, basketball, and baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball is a global sport. Baseball is a global sport. The NFL is going to have to become more global. That's why they're playing in Germany. That's why they're playing in London. That's why they're playing in Mexico. They're going to have to become, because their model has to be global. It can't be national anymore.
Well, the only thing going to be bad about that is they should have kept the NFL Europe in play. They need to go ahead and adopt the CFL, just things like that in order to make it global. It'd be more advanced. I think now when you just want to isolate just the U.S., you got to be creative on how you gonna create the new advantages and opportunities for the whole world. And I think the NBA have been really good in starting a D League and all these different leagues, and that's what they're going
to have to do, because they do play pro football in Mexico.
Yeah,
they do play it in Germany. They play it in Switzerland,
but they don't get paid. They don't get the compensation for it.
No, they get paid something, but it's not very much. They have
right.
jobs. I have friends who are coaching over in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
They're coaching over in Switzerland and in Mexico. Actually, one of my nephews plays in Mexico.
I know the military had played football too. They had some football competition in the military ranks.
But also, they're going to have to start getting foreign players like basketball, baseball, and those sports. Get them, and that will help them bring the game. There's a Hispanic guy. He was an offensive lineman for the Cowboys, and he went to Monterey Prep. It was the program there in Mexico, and they made him a defensive lineman. He's training to be a defensive lineman. And but they said he was the first Mexican player to ever. He's trying to be the first to ever play in the NFL, but that's not true, because that was born in Mexico. Because Rafael Septién, who I played with,
he kicked.
Yeah, He was from Monterey too, the kicker, and he was born in Mexico. He was born in Mexico City. So,
okay.
But he did play college football here.
He lived in Austin, Texas. I've seen him do some community stuff in Austin.
Yes. Yeah. So Raphael was one. He at one time he was the number one racquetball player in the world.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, he was really good. He was really, really.
You know, Algie Hodges Sheet, daddy.
Yeah, remember that Ali Hodges Sheet?
He grew up here in Arlington.
Yeah.
His daddy was a professor here at the University where I went.
Mm-hmm.
And he was one of the good kickers for the Giants back in the day as well for a little while.
He was a heck of a kicker.
Yeah.
He went to UT, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting. Football is going to be interesting. Obviously, we're more geared toward the NFL, but college football is going to be interesting. And obviously, you got Deion. If he can, the health issues are going on now,
right?
And but with Colorado, and they play TCU, Texas Christian, Fort Worth, and Alabama. Where's Alabama? You never talk about a national championship. This is the first year that you're really not talking about Alabama. You're talking about Georgia. You're talking about Ohio State, Michigan. Speaking of that, Jim Harbaugh is going to be suspended for the first 4 games of the year.
I didn't know that.
Yes. So these things are going on. This is going to be interesting because a lot of the college football teams are opening up their preseason practice too. The Cowboys are out in Oxnard and the Giants are in their camp. Every team in the NFL is in the camp.
Yeah.
And the one thing about playing pro football, everybody thinks this is the year.
You go into the season thinking that this is it. We're gonna be the number one team, or we're gonna win our division. We're gonna win this. We're gonna win that.
Who gonna beat us? Everybody's undefeated now.
Everybody is pumped.
Nobody has holes until they get into that first preseason game. Wait a minute, we do have a hole. What the heck's going on?
All you gotta do is turn the lights on and let's see what happens.
I'll never forget the first year Jimmy Johnson came to the Cowboys. He knew nothing about college football, pro football, and he would play every game like it was the last game of the year. And we won every game. We beat every team in the preseason. Shoot, we won 1 game that year. We were 1-15 after that because he didn't understand it wasn't about – nobody cares about preseason. It's about preparing yourself for the season.
Well, I can tell you Bill Parcells didn't like to lose. He didn't want to lose the preseason game.
You can still win, but you can't give too much up.
Yeah.
You can't give your whole game plan up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You got to be good at the vanilla, at the basic plays, and get them down, and you don't show nobody nothing else.
Nothing, because they're gonna just say that's the thing, and you're right, and that's why when you talk about some of these young quarterbacks, the quarterback for they already named him. Frank Wright has named him at Carolina.
Yeah, Bryce
Young.
Mm-hmm.
They named him. Well, no, he's not going to see a defense that's going to show him what he's going to see during the season. Everything he's going to see is just like you said, vanilla.
Hey, Jack, how you doing?
Jack, he is the most unselfish player. He's been
helping. I thought it was $35 million.
Yeah.
2 more million on that.
Yeah. And they did. Carlos.
Yeah, they did rearrange his contract.
He's still going to get his money, Jack. But he has been working with Zach Wilson, teaching him some stuff.
But Zach Wilson needs to sit down. He needs a lot to learn. That's going to show you these young players ain't quite ready to come in and make an impact in the NFL.
Yeah. You know what, Carlos? I agree with you. The lack of preseason, we discussed this earlier in the show, is you have to get acclimated to hitting. The product it hurts the product because they're not fully prepared. You got to wait 2 or 3 games to get ready. I mean, you see great athletes, but their bodies are not used to getting hit. They're just putting on pads. I mean, they don't do 2-a-days. They don't have what we had, middle drills, the physical nature of it. And football is a physical sport.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bryce Young will be running a lot.
He'll be running a lot.
But I guarantee you, you can't run a lot in the NFL. You're going to get tagged. You're going to get hurt.
He's not very big.
Yeah.
You saw what even as Kyler Murray, Byron's favorite player, Kyler Murray, they finally caught him.
Yeah, they caught up with him.
And Bryce Young is about the same size.
I'll tell you, man, those defensive players, the linebackers, and man, they coming at you.
And back to these young quarterbacks, Anthony Richardson. They said he's been really studying hard, and he is a big guy, but it's still going to be hard because he's not used to. He doesn't have a lot of football speed in college. How's that going to? That's going to accelerate in the pros. And I'm not saying
he don't have a lot of football. He ran a 4.3.
No. What I'm saying is he didn't play that many games in college.
No, he didn't have that many. Yeah, he didn't have that many games.
So imagine the transition to the NFL, and when he's got to play against you, guys like some of the and especially in there, Tennessee, Jacksonville.
Yeah, the coach. Yeah, they got some defenses over there in that division. That's for sure.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to prepare for that. Yeah, and then
the
you're right. The coach got a lot of those, but
yeah,
that's the thing. And then you got. I think the closest to being football ready is the kid at the Texans, Stroud. I think he's
Stroud.
probably the closest. But
CJ
Stroud. And he probably has the best offensive lineman that tackles are big time.
He's been rotating in.
Yeah.
Him and Mills. He's been rotating with Mills.
Yeah. But
yeah.
You're right, Irsay, he likes to be out there.
Irsay said he won't Richardson to start. That's what Irsay said.
Yeah. But they do have the quarterback from Minshew.
Minshew been doing well.
He's been in that system too.
Yeah, Minshew been playing well.
Yeah, I would say after about 6 games, Richardson will start, but Minshew will start the season.
Yeah, he should. He's supposed to.
Yeah. Now Stroud, I think he's going to start from this first day, and he's going to take his bumps. I mean, these guys are not John Elway, Peyton Manning, or Dan Marino.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they got a lot to learn. It's a learning curve.
Yeah, there's always going to be a learning curve in the NFL. It's just like Jack. I hope he's still on here.
Hey, Jack.
Thibodeau still was effective, but he had to learn. I think Thibodeau's going to be really good this year. I think he's going to make a huge step up.
Thibodeau gonna make the Pro Bowl again.
He didn't make the Pro Bowl.
He'll make the Pro Bowl this year. I'll put it like that.
Yeah, but Thibodeau is going to be better because that first and second year you make a huge jump. The receiver from the Jets, he's pretty good.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So good.
Did you see that catch he made in practice? Oh,
I didn't see it.
Big time. I mean,
what?
Yeah. And I think the Jets will be competitive. I think
Jets gonna be good because I know right now Jack Ears is standing straight up.
Yeah. Jack, we already said that. He did. He took a $35 million pay cut.
It was $35 million, Jack.
Yeah, but they made a deal with him. He can have all the mushrooms he wants if he took that pay cut. And he said, "Yeah, I'll take it for all the mushrooms I want."
I think the Jets gonna surprise some people, so I'm thinking I'm gonna jump on the Jets bandwagon.
You are?
Yeah.
Carlos says that. I think you're right, Carlos. I think Indianapolis will struggle, but other than Jacksonville and Tennessee, there's always an opportunity in that division because there's the 4 teams, all of them have issues. Tennessee with Derek Henry and Andre Hopkins should be there. Ooh, I'm moving out of the way. Carlos,
you don't know nothing about football.
Oh, Carlos. I'm with you, Carlos. They'll both be 8-9.
The Giants will win 10 games, Carlos. They will win 10 games.
Where do you think the Giants are going to win games? I'm not trying to be funny because they got to play the AFC East.
They're going to win 10 games.
Can they beat the Patriots?
It's all about the coaching. The coaching putting them in a position to win.
Can they beat the Dolphins?
They will.
Can they beat the Patriots? Oh, I already said the Patriots.
Oh, they're going to beat the Patriots. Yeah,
the Bills. Can they beat Buffalo?
They will beat the Bills. It'll be 30-30. It will be 30-31.
Ooh. Diggs is back in the house.
Diggs can be in the house, but he might be in that house because we're gonna put some shit down on him. We're gonna shut him down.
They got an offense though. He ain't the only player they got on that offense.
He's a crybaby though. He's a crybaby. Yeah. You know what happened to crybabies, don't you?
You see his brother got paid. He want to get paid too. Carlos. Oh man, Carlos. How are you gonna let Mac talk to you like that?
Carlos don't know nothing about football.
Wow, Carlos. Carlos, I appreciate your intelligent talk. We all know that both.
Carlos, who do you like? Who do Carlos like? Hey man, Daniel Jones got a new contract. He got a new attitude. So I can just say that.
One thing about it, you can't complain about. Daniel Jones is tough.
He's tough.
And
can run. And
too much because he's gonna beat.
He's a soccer guy.
Hey Rick, how are you, buddy? Hope you're having a good evening.
Rick like the Washington Commandos?
No, he's a Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, Rick likes Minnesota. Him and Jason.
No, Jason, yeah.
They like the Minnesota
Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota's going to surprise people. Everybody's giving that division to Detroit, but Minnesota's going to be competitive. It's the problem with Minnesota. If they get a night playoff game, it's over. Kirk Cousins at night. They got no chance.
Kirk Cousins.
No chance. Other than that, the one thing you got to worry about Minnesota is who's going to run the ball.
Yeah. Darren Cook gonna be hard to. Because of the field goal. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to that.
Jack is up from his nap.
Wow, this is a hard.
Jack, you got some explaining to do, Jack. You can't be sleeping. You can't be napping on a Wednesday night.
Jack was watching that boxing match a couple of days ago.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was in Japan. It was at 3:30 in the morning on the ESPN Plus.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a big match, and nobody was talking about it. And they called a guy, something like he's a Japanese guy, and he knocked him out. He knocked out the kid from Philadelphia. And they we got a big boxing match this weekend. Yes, I'll be up there watching it.
I like Crawford.
Carlos, Carlos, you gotta be good with my guy. Rick's my guy now. But
I agree with you. It's gonna be different. It's gonna definitely be different without Darren Cook.
Yes, there's no question about that. So you're right about that, Carlos. But I still think they have enough talent. They got really good tight end. We'll see what the new defensive coordinator does.
Justin Jefferson gonna be off the chain though. He gonna be the first receiver with 2,000 yards.
Yeah, He's almost unstoppable.
Yeah.
But without Thielen, who's going to be the number 2 receiver? Oh, it's going to be the number Addison.
Yeah, they got Addison from USC.
Yeah. So this is exciting. Now we can talk football.
I'm telling you, man, I've been missing football. Been talking about basketball and all that.
You're right about that, Carlos. He's going to have to win some primetime games.
Man, you don't like Kirk Cousins.
I'm not saying he doesn't win. That's kind of like what you're talking about, Justin Herbert. He gets a lot of stats, but how many times has he won in the playoffs? I mean, that's the thing.
Yep. The Vikings they don't have a running back.
But the Jets, who do they have? Bryce, what's his name?
Is it Breeze? Something like that? Yeah.
So that's the thing.
40 and 55.
Breece Hall.
Yeah,
so
Breece.
They have Breece Hall. I don't know if they have enough because he's coming back from injury too.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know, Carl. You don't have a dependable receiver, even with Addison. It's kind of sad because he had a medical emergency with his dog. That's why he was going 140 miles per hour. It's the truth. It's the truth. Yeah, it was his dog. But also, if my dog is in a medical emergency, I'm not going to put him in a Lamborghini because he was doing 140.
That's crazy.
So
that is some crazy stuff right there.
Yeah. But yeah, he was going 40 miles per hour in a 55 mile per hour speed zone.
Wow.
But I could see he was having a medical emergency.
A dog for a dog?
Yeah. So it must have been really bad.
Yeah.
And he did apologize for it and said he made the wrong judgment he made. He was just worried about the dog. So it's going to be a good. Rick, who's your team? Oh, no, Rick, you're in Minnesota, so.
Would he go? Will he go that fast if Cousins was in the car with him?
He'd be in trouble if Cousins was in the car and it's at night because it was like 3:30 in the morning. Cousins to close his eyes because Cousins can't play at night now. He's going to have to win some night games.
Yeah,
this is going to be a surprise team, and we all know that there's going to be some team that we never talk about. Tell you teams that I think could be a surprise and know we're getting close are Washington. They scare me because that defense.
I think the Denver Broncos going to be a surprise team.
I don't. I think maybe next year, and then I think Atlanta and Cleveland are teams that we got to watch.
Cleveland will be a surprise team. Cleveland will be a surprise team
because that guy does a nice job.
Yeah,
Kyle is not a great quarterback, but he's got competent players around him, and he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, if you ever noticed that. I think they're going to be better this year than they were. That defense is salty. That defense is really salty.
Yeah.
So
McCrone going to be good, the receiver.
Yeah, Scary Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he definitely going to be good.
But their defense, they're trying to trade Trace Young. They're trying to trade Trace Young. I'm just telling you.
Well, they're just trying to get something for him because they need some help.
Not on defense. They got Monte.
So maybe he ain't not the same since he hurt himself.
That could be a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. He sees Seahawks in the sleeper as well as Tampa Bay. I don't see Tampa Bay. They got too many issues.
Tampa Bay.
Seahawks has got tremendous receivers.
Yeah. Seahawks going to be tough.
Yeah.
I agree with the Seahawks.
Yeah, but Tampa, I can't see that, Carlos.
But you know what? The only difference about playing the Seahawks, they ain't gonna be able to sneak up on nobody no more.
That is true.
People gonna be ready.
Another team, I don't know if you consider them a sleeper, is San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's talking about Brock Purdy, but the other kid, what's his name?
He said Carlos lost all his credibility. He talking about Tampa Bay and the Seahawks.
The quarterback that they drafted number 1, everybody's criticizing. They said he's starting right now. Trey, it's not Trey.
Bryce Trace?
No.
Bryce Young?
No, the one at San Francisco, the 49ers.
Oh, yeah. Brock.
No, he's not starting.
Trey Lance?
Yeah, Trey Lance is starting.
What?
And then Debo said that his game is taking in. Everybody's raving about his game. But they do have to they got a new defensive coordinator.
Yep.
So, but they're saying that he's playing well, and they put him as the starter, and they're bringing Brock Purdy along slowly. And they do have Sam Darnold, one of the band members of the
one of the veterans.
Yeah.
Trey Lance is terrible.
Trey Lance is not terrible. There's some guys that can pick it up quick, and he has got some weapons. I mean, you got McCaffrey, you got Debo, you got the kid from Ayuk from Arizona State. I'm just telling you. That is true, Rick.
That is true. The Vikings might have a step on the last now.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rick.
Suspended players. They got some suspended players.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when a player has to miss 6 games, it hurts.
Yeah. But the problem with Carlos, real quick on Tampa Bay, is you're depending on Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield gonna make a commercial, and he's gonna have to sit his butt at the stadium.
Yeah, they won't even give him the keys by half the year. They're gonna
Carlos, Tampa Bay might well just take they need to go and figure out who they're gonna draft next year.
Yeah, so Tampa Bay, they might have be in the for Caleb Williams, the kid from USC.
That's probably who they're gonna try to get.
Yeah.
But New Orleans might be pretty tough. New Orleans might be a surprise.
Yeah, with Carr. But they're getting old. They're getting a little long in the tooth. Think about that.
Yeah.
You get a little long in the tooth. That's why I say Atlanta could win that division, because they came close to winning it last year.
Well, they came on strong at the end.
Yeah, they probably have the most upside of that division. Because you think Carolina's got the young quarterback. They have it with Ritter, but he's got a year under his belt. They got a great running back, the kid from Texas.
And I think they had the best coach in that division. They had a real good coach.
Yeah, I do too. So
Coach Smith.
Yeah, he does a nice job.
Yeah,
I really do think they got a chance to be pretty good, Atlanta. So, and New Orleans has talent, and that's not what I'm saying, but they're getting a little long in the tooth.
But New Orleans always have a good defense. I don't care what nobody say. They defense come to play.
Yeah, but even that is getting older.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That is true, Carlos. That is true.
Yeah,
they got other guys now. They got other players.
Yeah.
And they play hard.
Man, wake up, Jack. Y'all finished with
Yeah, I got to stay out my guy, Jack.
Jack, we love Jack.
Happy. He saw some of those videos from the Jets. Shoot, Jack is in heaven. They might.
We gotta get Jack. We gotta get too tall to call Jack.
Yeah, we do.
That'll wake him up.
Yeah, that'll wake him up quick. I was with Ed a couple of weeks ago playing golf. So
yeah.
But no, this is exciting. Every week we'll have something, because something's going to be going on in the NFL. And I appreciate your comments, Rick and Carlos, and Let's Talk Sports and all Mac Production. All you
Carlos, this is a football. Don't forget it.
But it was great having you guys and your comments, and keep them coming. Northeast Streaming Sports is getting on Jack, staring at that Rogers poster.
Oh, yeah.
It's all in the shrooms, man. It's all in the shrooms.
I smell footballs in there.
Isn't it a beautiful smell? It is a beautiful smell. I'm ready for football. I'm going to a game next week in Canada. Watch my
Okay.
But hey, as all, we got to waddle on out here.
I'm walling out. Watch out, Miami Dolphins.